All right. First and foremost, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and was worthy to be counted for double honors. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and full of the gospel. It's the brother Gabaria from the Indiana camp, coming back at you again with another sit down. All right, I'm entitled this video. Listen, man, just be obedient. All right. So, I was sitting here thinking through the spirit about how a lot of our mishaps or a lot of our mistakes or a lot of things that we go in through life, how it happens is most likely is because we're being disobedient. All right. Either a brother told you not to do something, or a brother told you, hey, listen, this wasn't a good idea, or hey, listen, I don't think I wouldn't do that, and you most likely want to do what you want to do because for some reason you just like, I want to do this, and you go and do that thing, and then it turns out to not to be what you thought it was going to be, So a lot of headaches and a lot of the times we bump our heads is because of our own disobedience. All right, we got to make sure we're being obedient, not just to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, but also the ones the Lord who set above us. All right, it's a reason why the Lord set the heads as heads. All right, the officers as officers. It's a reason why the Lord set that up in your particular camp. All right, whether you are an officer or whether you're a cadet or whatever, however you fall in line, But that's just the point right there, falling in line. All right. Best believe, listen, in this thing, man, somebody's always going to be above you. All right. You're going to have men beneath you, but you also going to have men above you. All right. So you got to make sure you're always adhering to the spirit and you're adhering to what, them that have the rule over you, as the scripture says. All right. And it's not a power trip thing. It's not a I'm better than you thing. It's just to make sure you remain in order. All right. It's something the Lord seen in this brother to have him in the position in the camp that he's in. All right. For the elders and the bishops. You see, as the scripture says, every member of the body is not every member of the body is where they are, not because of their own will, but because it pleased the Lord. All right. It says that in the book of Corinthians. All right. So you are where you are is because why the Lord sees you more beneficial there. You see, and he's seen things are going to flow more smoothly if this brother is here, if this brother is there, doing their lot, doing their job. You see, and the body, there's no such thing as the toe is just as more important as the eye, and the eye is just as more important as it's all one body. You see, and the faster you think that, the better off it is. All right. So I got a few scriptures right here just to, hit on the points, and we ain't gonna make this too long. We don't get the scriptures and get up out of here. All right. This is 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 22. It says, and Samuel said, hath the Lord has great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices. It says, and as in obeying the voice of the Lord, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fats of rams. See, so it would have been better if you just would have hearkened and listened from the beginning than for you to come back and say, oh, Slakia, I'm sorry, So here it is. The Lord does delight in in the burnt offerings and in the sacrifices. But it would have been better for you just to do what you were supposed to do at the beginning. You see? Even though you coming back, you're sorry, you repentful. That's a good thing. That's a good spirit to have. But what if you would have did it right the first time? You wouldn't ever even had to, do that thing. You see? You see how that scripture, is a line of saying, listen, do better the next time so you don't have to come back and say you're sorry. All right. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 17. It says, obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls. Yeah, see? So the elders, the bishops, the officers of the camps, they on you, or they might, get on you. You might have an officer or elder who's really, really strict, but he's not doing it because that's just who he is. He just like getting on brothers. He is like that because why? He's ultimately watching after your soul. You see, his Your soul isn't his responsibility. So what if he sees something and he doesn't say it and you get jacked up for it? Guess who the Lord's going to hold responsible? He's going to hold the elder, the camp heads responsible. Listen, we've had apostles come down, to Indianapolis, and when they seen certain things wasn't right, who did you think they get on? You think they got on the brothers right then and there? No, they went to our camp heads. They went to the top three. You see, and they let them have it. And then what? The top three came down into the officers and let the officers have it, and the officers come down on the younger brothers and let them have it. You see, that's how everything is done in order, and that's how you also keeps the body in a line. That's how that's the proper way it's supposed to be. All right, you go to the head because the head is the responsibility of everything. All right, that's why Elder Namashpa, he had said this a couple weeks ago. He said, you brothers that's in the camp, always try to make the guy above you his job easier. If we have a camp full of that, a camp full of brothers making the next brother's job easier, everything will small. Everything will run way more smoothly. Everything will flow way more better if we had a lot more of that mindset. All right, make the brother next to you, make his job easier. Okay. It says, watch for your souls. It says, as they that must give account, that says that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. All right. Matter of fact, let's go to this one. And I'm going to read in the Amplified version. What's that? 17. I want to read an Amplified version and see what it says. It says, obey your spiritual leaders and submit to them. Recognize their authority over you, for they keeping watch over your soul and continually guarding your spiritual welfare, as those who will give an account of their stewardship of you. Let them do this with joy and not with grief and groans, for this would be of no benefit to you. All right. So yeah, man, you want to make sure, you're not the brother they constantly getting on. They got to constantly go back to, oh man, I got to get on this guy, man. Damn, man. Why can't you just do right? Where we at? 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 5. It says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves under the elders, yea, all of you be subject one to another. It says, and be clothed with humility, for Yahweh resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. You see? All right. So he's subject one to another, man. Like I said, you always gonna have a brother above you, and you always gonna have a brother beneath you. You see? But you make sure you always treating each single brother, with respect. You're not belittling or you're not downgrading. Just because a brother is above you or below you don't mean you can treat him a certain way. All right. Matter of fact, to be honest, you're supposed to treat every brother like if it was Yahushua himself. You see? Hey, and that's a record I try to keep clean. That's something I really don't play about. I don't play when it comes to disrespecting brothers, young or old. I try to move with the utmost respect for each single brother, and you can ask a brother. You can ask a brother of Indiana or any brother I come across, man. I'm not the disrespectful type. I don't call brothers out their names. I don't deal with that. I actually disdain that. I don't like how, if you're talking crazy to another brother. You see, and that's how I've always been. I don't play with that. I don't do the whole shucking and jiving. Not saying I don't, relax and let my hair down and kick it and talk shit with brothers. That's cool. I'm just talking about when it comes to disrespecting, I don't do the disrespectful thing. I don't like it. That's just not my cup of tea. All right. I don't care how mad I get. I don't care how mad a brother gets. I don't care how mad I get towards a brother. I don't do the disrespectful thing. I try my best to uphold each single brother with the utmost respect, like as if I was talking to Yahushua himself. You see? Now, I'm saying that to a brother. Now, if you're not a brother, if you on the outside talking shit, scoffing, then you're not a brother. Then I look at you as an enemy. until proven otherwise. Because there's guys out there who don't affiliate with GMS, but what, they still, they still do the work, and they still do the truth, and they haven't said anything. Like Scott, like we got two guys, that's not technically a part of GMS in Indianapolis, but they still do the work. They didn't talk shit. They still give double honors to the elders, And if those guys come around, I'll still talk. I'll still treat them with the utmost respect, And unless they said some bug, unless they teaching something not according to the doctrine, or unless they disrespect another brother, or they showing signs that they're not really with us, But the key point is what, man? Basically, be clothed with humility, and resist the proud. And that's something Jake, deals with heavy, Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12, it says, "Therefore, my brethren, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." Yeah, man, that's another thing too. You don't be Mr. Super Duper Israelite or super duper this when elders or brothers is around. But then when it's in the secrecy, you just turn and you be a completely different person. You're supposed to obey. You're supposed to uphold the rules and standards if nobody was around. If an elder say, "Hey, listen, brother, stay off social media. I don't want to see nobody on social media for a month." And you go create another account and like, I'm a sneak be on social media. Hey, that's not right. Or if the elder had made hey brothers, don't be going to these bars and clubs, and don't be doing this and you secretly going because you like, oh, I can do whatever I want. That's not a right spirit you need to be in. You're being disobedient. Now what happens if you get jacked up, you get shot or get hit or whatever, and then they ask you, "Oh, damn, bro, where was you at?" And now you got to sit there and say, "Yeah, man, I was in a bar." Well, that's your point right here. This is judgment. You wasn't supposed to be in the bar anyways. The elder said no more bar hopping. And now you got to sit there like, damn, yeah, he said that. It's a reason why the elders and officers, there's a reason why the heads come up with certain rules and regulations. It's not just because they're the fun police and all, ain't nobody gonna have fun, which fucking have fun in this place anyways. It's hard to even do that, but it's not because what the elders just want to see you miserable. It's because why the spirit moved them to know, hey, listen, we're not in that type of time right now, Things are finna start moving fast, and things are finna start getting worse. So like I said, back in a couple verses ago, it says what? They watch for your soul, It's a reason why the Lord put the spirit on them men to say, hey, listen, don't be doing this. Don't be doing that. Stay off of this. Stay off of that. It's not just because like I said, it's not just because they want to see you miserable. It's because why? They see something that you probably don't see. And what the Lord's always going to deal with the heads first. So why you thinking that, oh, well, I'm a man of the Lord too. The Lord deal with me too. Yeah, but guess what? He going to deal with your head first. If it's something that needs to be that the whole camp needs to hear, or if it's something the whole camp, the body needs to go a certain way, and guess what? He going to deal with the head. He going to go deal with the center of control. You see? And that's where the Lord's always been. He said, well, I'm not the author of confusion. Why would we go deal with the toe or the foot and the brain don't know what's going on? All right. This is the last one, and then we'll close up after this. This is Romans chapter 5, verse 19. It says, For as by one man disobedience, many were made sinners, so by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous. You see, and who is this talking about? Yahweh Shah. His disobedience when he was what? Adam caused what? Death to enter into the world. So by what? By one disobedient, many became sinners. We were subject unto sin, unto death at that point. But now what? When he came back as Yahweh Shah, what did he do? He didn't sin not once. When he came back as Yahweh Shah, he didn't do one sin upon the flesh, because why? He was perfect. He was that perfect sacrificial lamb. And because of that, what? Many shall be made righteous. That's why we are technically getting saved. Because why? His blood was shed. All right. I know I'm sounding like a Christian right now, but his blood was shed. You see? And because of that, many are going to be made righteous. That's why we can ask for forgiveness. You see? And we can try better. We can ask for forgiveness. What did Yahweh Shah say? Get up and sin no more. You know what else? A righteous man getteth up. A righteous man falleth 7 times, but he get back up again, dust himself off, and keep it pushing. You know, you ask for forgiveness, and that's it. You know, you go and you try your best not to do that iniquity again. All right. Because why? Yahweh Shah already got up on the cross and sacrificed himself for us to be able to do that. All right. For us to actually ask for forgiveness. You see? So you see how great Yahweh Shah's disobedience was into the earth. But now you see even how even greater his obedience was. So it's better for what? For you to be obedient, for you to listen. All the way back to the first scripture I brought out in Samuel. It says, listen, it would have been better if you'd have just did what you were supposed to at the beginning. And none of this the other stuff would have happened. All right. So that's all I have. That's all I have for this video, man. Lord will hope this video is edifying. I know it's kind of quick, fast, and to the point, but sometimes you're going to have videos like that. So until next time, shalom.